Some love stories were never meant to fit inside a wedding song. They lived in stolen hours, back booth cafes, and phone calls made after midnight, when the rest of the world was asleep. Love songs usually promise happy endings. These didn't. Instead, they told stories of impossible choices, hidden relationships, guilty consciences, and hearts that refused to follow the rules.
Most know that it's wrong, but it's much too strong.
Some listeners called them romantic, others called them dangerous. But decades later, they're still among the most unforgettable songs ever recorded.
But if there's some emergency, have a male friend to ask for me.
Because beneath the smooth melodies and unforgettable harmonies were stories that challenged conventions, sparked conversations, and proved that the most powerful songs are often the ones willing to tell uncomfortable truths. Welcome back to Retro Vinyl. Tonight, we're uncovering the untold stories behind 12 R&B songs that turned secret affairs into timeless classics.
Am I wrong to hunger for the gentleness of your touch?
12 Millie Jackson. If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right, 1974.
Loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Millie Jackson didn't just cover Luther Ingram's Confession of Forbidden Love, she flipped who was doing the confessing.
And being right means being without you. I'd rather live alone doing life.
In 1974, 2 years after Ingram's original became a soul standard, Jackson recorded her own version of If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right, keeping the melody nearly untouched while changing everything else, simply by changing whose voice was telling the story.
Long as I got you by my side, I don't care what your people say.
It was a startling move for the era, when female singers rarely claimed the moral gray area of an affair as their own to narrate.
My friends tell me it's no future in loving a married man.
The reaction was immediate. Jackson's version climbed to number 5 on the Billboard R&B chart and earned her 2 Grammy nominations, cementing her reputation as a singer unafraid to sing about infidelity, desire, and complicated relationships when few women in soul music dared to go there.
If I can't see you when I want to, I'll see you when I can.
It didn't match Luther Ingram's original on the pop charts, but it didn't need to. It changed the conversation.
Am I wrong to fall so deeply in love with you?
Suddenly, the other woman wasn't a silent figure in someone else's song. She had a verse of her own. That reframing still echoes through R&B storytelling today, in every song that dares to let the villain speak.
Know when you have someone else at home who needs you just as much.
Sometimes the most radical thing a singer can do is simply change who gets to tell the story.
Am I wrong for trying to hold on to the best thing I ever had?
Every secret relationship carries its own risk. The next artist on this list turned that risk into a warning the whole culture still repeats.
I need you, darling. Let me have you.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
11. The Persuaders, Thin Line Between Love and Hate, 1971.
It's a thin line between love and hate.
Before there was a hashtag for toxic love, there was the Persuaders. In 1971, the group released Thin Line Between Love and Hate, a slow-building warning about what happens when devotion curdles into something darker.
Let me never once do she say, where have you been? She said,
It wasn't a song about a scandalous affair, it was something quieter and more unsettling. A portrait of a relationship pushed past its breaking point, told with the smooth, aching harmonies that defined early 70s soul.
who is it? She opened up the door and let me.
Thin Line Between Love and Hate spent 2 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard R&B chart, crossed over to number 15 on the Hot 100, and was certified gold, the biggest hit of the Persuaders' career.
All the time she smiled, never raised a
But what made the song endure wasn't just the chart run, it was the title itself. "There's a thin line between love and hate" became a phrase that outgrew the record, repeated in conversations, in other songs, in everyday language, decades after most listeners had forgotten where it came from.
Might be holding something inside that'll really, really hurt you one day.
Rather than romanticizing obsession, the Persuaders exposed it, and that honesty is exactly why the song still unsettles listeners today.
The sweetest woman in the world could be the meanest woman in the
It reminds us that not every love song is a comfort. Some are a caution. A phrase can outlive the song that gave it to us. This one just refuses to let go.
Don't think you can keep breaking your woman's heart.
Every secret relationship carries risk. The next story is about a love that could never fully belong to anyone.
It's a thin line. Yes, it is.
10. Freddy Jackson. Have You Ever Loved Somebody? 1986. By the mid-1980s, Freddy Jackson had become one of R&B's most reliable hitmakers, and in 1986 he released Have You Ever Loved Somebody?, a ballad about loving someone you may never actually get to keep. Where other songs on this list lean into secrecy and scandal, Jackson's record leans into something quieter, the ache of wanting someone whose life simply doesn't have room for you. Have You Ever Loved Somebody spent 2 weeks at #1 on the Billboard R&B chart, Jackson's 5th chart topper and his 3rd consecutive #1 from the same album. A run that made him one of the defining male voices of mid-80s soul, his rich, restrained baritone perfectly suited to songs about longing rather than confrontation. What sets this record apart from its more scandalous countdown neighbors is its focus. It isn't about deception, it's about emotional conflict, the quiet math of loving someone the world or circumstance won't let you have.
You got your heart securely locked away, and you won't let.
That's a kind of heartbreak nearly everyone recognizes, whether the object of their love was ever available or not.
Oh, I can show you how to love again.
Not every unrequited love involves someone else. Sometimes the obstacle is simply timing.
'Cause I can never hurt you. I think the world about you.
Here's something I'd love to know. Which one of these songs doesn't just remind you of a memory, but actually takes you back there? Tell me where it takes you.
Can you learn to love me too?
The next love story only seemed to exist on one specific day of the week, and no one ever fully explained why. 9. Cherrelle and O'Neal. Saturday Love, 1985. Saturday Love arrived in 1985 as a duet between Cherrelle and O'Neal, and its premise was deceptively simple, a romance that only seemed to exist on weekends, leaving listeners to fill in the rest for themselves. Both singers were protégés of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, the production duo whose crisp, synth-driven sound helped define the Minneapolis sound of the era, giving the track its sleek, modern edge against a very old-fashioned subject. Saturday Love climbed to #2 on the Billboard R&B chart and crossed into the pop top 30, becoming both singers' signature duet and helping cement Jam and Lewis as the most important production team to come out of Minneapolis.
When I think about you, my feeling.
The song's central mystery, why only Saturdays, was never explained in the lyrics, and that ambiguity is exactly what kept fans talking for years afterward.
After all this time, my heart still feels bad.
Was it distance, a secret, a relationship neither party was ready to name in daylight? The song let listeners write their own backstory, which turned a 3-minute duet into something closer to a puzzle. Its lasting popularity says less about the answer and more about how good R&B doesn't always need to explain itself to move you. Some questions are more powerful left unanswered. This one still is. Some love had to survive in complete secrecy. This next song made privacy itself sound romantic. 8. The Emotions. Don't Ask My Neighbors, 1977. Where most songs on this list confess to an affair, The Emotions' 1977 record, Don't Ask My Neighbors, does something gentler. It simply asks to be left alone.
Friends only guess. They can't say really.
The song is a plea for privacy and discretion, produced by Maurice White of Earth, Wind & Fire, whose lush, sophisticated arrangements gave the group's harmonies a warm, cinematic backdrop unlike anything else in their catalog.
Oh, I can see more.
Don't Ask My Neighbors reached number 7 on the Billboard R&B chart, a respectable follow-up to the group's chart-topping Best of My Love from the same platinum album. It's one of the softest songs ever written about keeping love away from public scrutiny. There's no scandal here, no confrontation, just a quiet request for the world to look elsewhere. That restraint is part of what makes it so effective.
And you run here and there to ask my feelings.
In a genre often built on big, dramatic confessions, Don't Ask My Neighbors whispers instead of shouts, and in doing so, captures something true about real relationships.
You don't understand. You think I'm changing.
Sometimes protecting love means keeping it small, private, and entirely your own. Not every love story needs an audience. Some only survive because no one's watching.
I'll make you feel uneasy.
Close your eyes for a second. Which song on this list puts you right back in a specific moment? Not just a memory, an actual place, a room, a feeling. The next artist didn't hint at an affair. She wrote directly to the other woman and dared her to listen. 7. Barbara Mason, From His Woman to You, 1975. Barbara Mason's 1975 record, From His Woman to You, was actually written as an answer song, responding directly to Shirley Brown's hit Woman to Woman from the same year. The lyrics read almost like private correspondence, giving listeners the uncomfortable, voyeuristic feeling of intercepting a letter that was never meant for them. Few songs in the genre confront infidelity with this much bluntness. Rather than aiming her anger, or her plea, at the man in question, Mason's narrator goes straight to the source of her pain, the other woman herself. The record climbed to number 3 on the Billboard R&B chart and crossed over into the Pop Top 30, becoming one of the biggest hits of Mason's career.
Don't mind sharing if you don't bother me.
That choice reframes the entire narrative. It isn't a song about being wronged by a partner, it's a song about two women, connected by one man, finally speaking to each other directly.
Seems to me you're doing too much for the man.
50 years later, that structure still feels unusually honest, because most songs about affairs never let the two women in the story actually talk.
Buying ain't loving, it's giving up yourself.
Sometimes the hardest conversation in a love triangle isn't with the man at all. If these stories are hitting you the way they're hitting us, hit that subscribe button right now and stay connected. Retro Vinyl brings you a new one every single week.
Hang up the phone to let me know you made it home.
6. Stevie Wonder, Part-Time Lover, 1985.
Don't want nothing to be wrong with part-time lover.
By 1985, Stevie Wonder had already redefined what soul music could sound like, and with Part-Time Lover, he turned a story of secret meetings into something almost cinematic. Coded phone calls, invented excuses, and close calls, all set to one of the most instantly recognizable grooves of the decade.
If she's with me, I'll blink the lights to let you know tonight's the night.
It wasn't a ballad of guilt or heartbreak, it was something rarer, a love song about the strange thrill of getting away with something.
We are undercover fashion on the run.
Part-Time Lover hit #1 simultaneously on the Billboard Hot 100, R&B, dance, and adult contemporary charts, making Wonder the first artist in history to top 4 different Billboard charts with the same single, and his 10th and final #1 pop hit to date. Wonder played many of the instruments on the track himself, a reminder of the sheer musicianship that ran underneath even his most radio-friendly hits.
Knowing it's so wrong, the feeling's so right.
The storytelling is what set the song apart. Rather than simply confessing to an affair, it narrates one in real time, complete with tension and near discovery.
If I'm with friends and we should meet, just pass me by, don't even speak.
That cinematic quality is likely why the record still feels fresh. It doesn't just describe secrecy, it makes the listener feel the adrenaline of it.
But if there's some emergency, have a male friend to ask for me. So
Genius doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes, it just makes secrecy sound like a groove you can't stop moving to.
I got something that I must tell. Last night, someone rang our doorbell.
The next artist waited for a man who kept promising to leave, and it became the song that launched her into legend. 5. Whitney Houston, Saving All My Love for You. And Billy Davis Jr., but Houston's version transformed it into something the world had never quite heard before.
So I'm saving all my love for you.
The record became Houston's first #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100, the first of what would eventually be 7 consecutive chart-topping singles. Atlantic Starr, Secret Lovers, 1985.
We are the two of us together.
Where many songs on this list rely on suggestion and subtext, Atlantic Starr's 1985 hit Secret Lovers does the opposite. It says the quiet part out loud. There's no disguise here, no careful wording. It's simply two people admitting, openly, that they're involved in something they're keeping hidden from the world. That directness became the group's breakthrough. Secret Lovers turned into Atlantic Starr's first major crossover pop hit, and it remains the song most fans associate with the group decades later. Unlike records that hint at infidelity through metaphor, this one commits fully to the confession, which is exactly what gave it staying power. There's nothing to decode, nothing left ambiguous. Just two voices, in harmony, admitting the truth to each other and to us. Sometimes the boldest choice a songwriter can make is simply refusing to hide behind clever wording. No metaphors, no disguises, just the truth, set to one of the smoothest melodies of the decade. The next story isn't about the affair itself, it's about the morning after, when the fantasy has to face the daylight. 3. Shirley Murdoch, As We Lay, 1986. Most songs about secret love focus on the excitement of it, the meetings, the risk, the thrill. Shirley Murdoch's 1986 record, As We Lay, focuses on something almost nobody else was willing to sing about. The morning after, when two lovers wake up together and have to return to their separate families. As We Lay reached number 5 on the Billboard R&B chart and number 23 on the Hot 100, becoming Murdoch's signature hit and helping push her debut album to gold certification.
As we slept the night away.
The song sparked genuine debate at the time, precisely because of its honest, unflinching portrayal of adultery from a woman's perspective, not the seduction, but the guilt that follows it.
Sunlight shines across your sleeping face.
That emotional honesty is what separates As We Lay from nearly everything else in this countdown. It isn't interested in glamorizing the affair, it's interested in the quiet, uncomfortable reckoning that comes once the night is over and reality reasserts itself.
A new day brings reality.
Nearly 40 years later, that kind of vulnerability still feels rare in a genre that usually prefers confidence over confession.
We forgot about all the pain we caused.
Fantasy is easy to sing about. Murdoch had the courage to sing about what comes after.
As we share each other's love.
Which song on this countdown, more than any other, feels like it's telling a story you've actually lived? You don't have to explain, just sit with it for a second.
What love the night we had. Yeah, yeah.
The next song is arguably the greatest secret affair record ever made, and it barely says anything explicit at all.
And now it's time for us to say goodbye.
2. Billy Paul, Me and Mrs. Jones, 1972.
Me and Mrs. Jones.
Released in 1972, Billy Paul's Me and Mrs. Jones told the story of two lovers meeting in secret every day at the same cafe at the same time.
We got a thing going on.
And it did so with a restraint that made the song even more powerful. The lyrics never become explicit. The tension comes entirely from what's implied, and from Paul's smoky, aching delivery.
same cafe.
Songwriters Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff reportedly built the story after noticing a real couple who met at a bar beneath their studio at the same time, day after day, never explaining who they were to each other.
We both know that it's wrong, but it's much too strong.
The song became a #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 in December 1972 and won Billy Paul a Grammy Award for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance, cementing it as one of Philadelphia soul's defining classics.
Well, it's time for us to believe.
What makes it endure isn't scandal, it's subtlety. Everyone listening knew exactly what was happening between me and Mrs. Jones, even though almost nothing was ever said outright.
It hurts so much inside.
Sometimes, the most unforgettable stories are the ones that trust you to read between the lines.
Now she'll go her way, and I'll go mine.
One song started this entire conversation about love and the rules it breaks. It's time to go back to where it began.
We got a thing.
1. Luther Ingram. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. 1972. In 1972, Luther Ingram released If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right, written by Homer Banks, Carl Hampton, and Raymond Jackson. And it became, almost instantly, the ultimate anthem of forbidden love.
Your mom and daddy say it's a shame. It's a down.
Rather than apologizing for the affair at its center, Ingram's narrator does something few songs of the era dared to do. He simply accepts the consequences, choosing the relationship over the judgment surrounding it. The song's reach became extraordinary. Ingram's original topped the Billboard R&B chart for 4 weeks, climbed to #3 on the Hot 100, and was ranked by Billboard as the 16th biggest song of the entire year in 1972. In the decades since its release, it has been covered by artists across soul, country, blues, and pop, a testament to just how universal its central question turned out to be. It also inspired Millie Jackson's Answer record version 2 years later, the song that opened this very countdown, proving that Ingram's confession was powerful enough to spark a conversation that lasted generations. At its core, the song asks one unforgettable question. What if a love feels right, even when the whole world insists it's wrong? Some songs fade, others become the question an entire genre keeps circling back to answer. This one is the second kind. 12 songs, decades later, one question none of them fully answer. What do we do with a love the world tells us is wrong?
Am I wrong to hunger for the gentleness of your touch?
These records didn't offer easy morals, they offered honesty, at a time when honesty about love's messiest corners wasn't guaranteed airplay. And that's why they still endure. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these songs stayed with you the longest, and why? Or is there another R&B classic you think deserved a place on this countdown? Thank you for spending this time with us, and with the artists who were brave enough to tell these stories. Until next time, keep the needle on the record, and the volume where it belongs.